Hi guys, today I wanted to show you my pothos plants and talk to you about how I care for them and a few reasons why you want to have pothos in your house. As you can see, I have four kinds of pothos, and there are several reasons why I love those plants. One of them is that they're extremely easy to care for, like they're one of the easiest plants to care for. The other reason, as you can see here, it's in my dining room, this one. They kind of enhance your interior design very nicely, so they look very good. And last but not least, they are very good indoor plants to have pretty much in every room because they really improve the air quality in your house. As a matter of fact, NASA has conducted research on the golden pothos, which, by the way, is this one. The golden pothos is considered the original pothos, and their research showed that this plant is very effective at removing formaldehyde, carbon monoxide and other pollutants from indoor air, and of course they tested it for spacecraft. So with that said, let's talk about the care. So pothos is really easy to care for. To be honest with you, I haven't purchased any of these plants. I have started all of these from cuttings, which is extremely easy to do, and at the end of the video I have prepared here some water and some scissors to show you how I do this. So the basics are the following. I plant these in regular potting soil, and once you plant the plants, obviously you would want to water it that same day, and they really require very little care because depending on how dry they are in your house, you can water them once a week. I typically water them once a week, but you can water them between once a week and once every 10 days. You would want to see that the topsoil is dry, like visibly dry, and then water them well. So the other thing that you need to know is I don't feed my plants very well. I'm just not very good at that. But if you have the same soil, the plants sitting in the same soil for more than a year, you would like probably to feed them about once a week or change the soil. Another thing that it's very important is daylight for these plants. So I usually have these sitting by a window. This one is the one I have the furthest from the window, and you can see that. So a lot of times on the internet you will see that this plant is good for like bathrooms and low light, but I really disagree with that and I don't recommend it. Pretty much all the plants require daylight for photosynthesis, and these in particular, especially the variegated ones like this one, and this one right here is called neon pothos, and it has very bright lime colored leaves. Those plants are gonna lose some of the variegation on the leaves, and in this case the brightness of the leaves if you put them in a dark environment. It's just not ideal. So the more light they receive, the more vibrant those leaves will be. And even this one here, I had this one here at the low light at one point, and to be honest with you, the leaves turned pretty much completely solid green. Once it got more exposure to light, those beautiful spots started appearing, which is something that, of course, most people are interested in having this variety. So aside from these four, I believe this one is called Silver Queen or Snow Queen. And this one, I believe it's called Marble. Pothos. So I'm not exactly certain of the names because there are so many varieties, but something to note is that they get the variety from genetic mutations. So these are not hybrid plants. They kind of mutate on their own. That's why you might experience some change in your pothos as you have it. Besides the losing of variegation if you put it in low light, you can also see sometimes changing color. Like for example, this one used to be a lot paler and more silver colored, and it became a lot more green and yellow as time passed. I've had these for several years, excuse me. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. They're one of the easiest plants to care for. If you're someone that travels or just a person that doesn't have a green thumb, this plant is great for you, because they can be neglected and they won't die. As a matter of fact, they are called devil's ivy, and the reason they're called devil's ivy is because they're very hard to kill. So that right there tells you that they will survive on you pretty much regardless of what you throw on them. One of the things I wanted to share with you is that if you want to get a very full plant, you can plant several cuttings into one pot. Or another thing that you can do is once you cut these vines, I usually cut them like right around here, you can get a new sprouting, like a new branch coming off of here, or sometimes this branch will create another branch. So by cutting it, typically you create a fuller plant. Although you might have noticed that this one is struggling a little bit, and this one I cut a little too hard one time and it's still kind of recovering. You can see it's a little sad looking, but I probably will repot it and kind of work on enhancing it a little bit. Another thing that I wanted to show you is, and give you an idea, you can put a stick or some kind of structure inside here and guide these branches to actually go up instead of like falling down, if that's what you prefer. And they will kind of follow along a certain structure. Like right here, I will show you. You see they have these air roots, and those things are super sticky, and as a matter of fact, you can see I can pull this. It takes quite a bit of strength to unglue them, which I need to do because it's leaving a mark on my cabinet that I don't want. But oh well, we'll deal with that later. So I think that is all. As I said, very easy. And of course, if you guys have any tips or tricks or comments, I would love to hear from you. And next, I'm going to show you how I cut these to propagate them, because I want to give them to some of my friends. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay guys, hi again. So I have like a really long cutting here of my neon pothos, and I wanted to show you a couple tricks of how I will make multiple cuttings out of this one long branch. So as you can see, I've cut it right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eyeball the situation and kind of decide that I want my other branch to be here. Now, one thing I want to tell you is when you have such a long branch and you see how the leaves kind of sometimes go in downwards direction, once you cut it, it's really hard to tell which direction the branch is going in. So here is a little trick that I learned from actually a show called Gardener's World on TV. So you're gonna leave this kind of blunt cut, and then here to indicate that this is the top of your branch, you're gonna cut it at an angle. so like this. So we are gonna move this to the side, and then here you're gonna cut blunt again. So this piece, obviously, it's gonna be garbage. And then you're gonna come here, cut at an angle. You're gonna know this is your top. This part, the blunt part, will need to go in water. And then don't forget to even it out. And then same thing. So once I have several branches, what I like to do, the part that's gonna be in the water, I'd like to remove these leaves, at least a couple of them. And then these parts are where your roots are gonna grow. Excuse me, I can't talk today. This is where your roots are gonna grow from. So this is the part that's gonna be put in water, like so. And then you can repeat this with your other. So once again, this is my top, cut at an angle. This is my bottom. So remove the bottom leaves. Sometimes I'll even just leave very few. And place this in the water like so. These are gonna root very, very quickly. They typically root like within a week or two max. And then you can go ahead and kind of plant those. And in order to get a full plant, you can put 3 of them together in one pot, or you can put 1 each in a separate pot and have a single plant growing from there. So I hope you found this helpful. Please, as I said, comment below, like, subscribe, and I would love to hear from you. And if you're interested in other lazy plants, I have made a video about succulents, so please watch that. And that's it. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.